A normal period should be 3 to 4 days, painless, bright, fresh blood. Yes. Because if you're bleeding old, dark clots, some people bleed black blood, which has been there for so long. Especially, you can start taking our product, and next thing you see black things coming out, black, and you're like, I'm dying. What is going on? But this is old blood coming out. So you're supposed to have 3 to 4 days painless period, fresh, bright blood. And you're not supposed to stop what you're doing. Your period should come and you don't know.
So you insist painless periods?
Painless. For me, my promise is
are not normal.
They are not normal. They are not normal.
Hi guys, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to Explore with JK channel. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, and if you're not new here and you've not subscribed, please consider clicking that subscribe button. I'm so excited today because I'm doing part 2 of last week's video. And before I begin, guys, I want to really appreciate because of all your comments, all your responses. Thank you so much, guys. And I want to tell you that today I can confidently say that all is well. Last week's video was so emotional. As you guys can remember, it was somehow a sad story. But today I'm here to give my testimony and tell you guys what I did, or rather what medication I used to solve my problem. So as I told you last week, guys, after I was told that my tubes are both blocked, I began doing research from friends, online, Google, everywhere I could to see if I can find a third opinion, because I had 2 solutions already, which I already mentioned in the last week's video. And if you've not watched that video, I'll put that link on the description box below so that you can watch the video and catch up with us. In the process of research, one of my hubby's friends told him about some natural herbs that deal with reproductive and digestive system for human beings. I came and searched for the page, and their IG name is Harriet Botanical. I will put the name up here, Harriet's Botanical. So, and I went through their page and saw testimonies of people who have had blocked fallopian tubes before and they have unblocked, and so many other problems that could be related with me, because my blocked fallopian tubes had been caused by continuous infections. And I took a step of faith and I bought the medicine and took it, and by the time I'm done with my first dose, my tubes had already unblocked. So today I don't want to talk much, guys. I want to take you to Harriet's Botanical. I want you to see their herbal medicines, their natural herbs, and see and also get to know what solutions they provide. And guys, I want to say this before we go. The fact that Harriet herself and Harriet's venture into this field was inspired by a problem she had, and a problem most of us have, most of us, I insist, have, inspired me to go meet her and hear what she can tell us, or what she can advise those people suffering from those kind of problems. Hi Harriet.
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good.
I'm also good. Thank you so much for hosting me here, and I want you to introduce yourself to my fans. Tell them who is Harriet's Botanical, what you do. Yes.
Okay. So my name is Harriet Mook, and I am the founder and CEO of Harriet's Botanicals. And we retail traditional indigenous medicine that we actually get from 3 communities: the Ogiek, the Kipsigis, and the Maasai. And we retail to the urban and diaspora African markets. And we also sell in the US. We sell in the US, in the EU, in Australia, and in the UK. So our flagship product, which did really well, is called Arrowroot.
Yes.
And I keep the traditional name of one of the products. And Arrowroot is a tree. In English, it's called Cape Ash.
Okay.
And the whole idea, this was given to me, or a derivative of this was given to me in 2017, because my periods were very, very difficult to manage. And this is a problem I struggled with for over 20 years.
So you had endometriosis?
Yes, I had endometriosis. I had it from when I was 17, though it was undiagnosed for a very long time. But I'm one of those girls who used to miss work and miss school because of my periods, 4 to 5 days, or at least a week every single month. I had the mood swings, the heavy period, the clotting, a lot of pain. I've taken a lot of painkillers, including all the over-the-counter and under-the-counter ones, the ones that have to be prescribed, like Betapin. So I struggled with this, and in 2017 it was given to me, something like this, where I then merged 2 formulas to create my own. I was giving it to my friends, my age mates, who are now on their way to hysterectomies because of problems with fibroids. They were so big and they were bleeding so much that their blood count was so low that it was dangerous for them. So this was something I just offered to a couple of friends. And then it just blew up because everybody had this problem or knew somebody who had this problem.
Very common.
Very common.
Endometriosis is very common.
Endometriosis affects actually 1 in 10 women, and painful periods or overbleeding affects 4 out of every 10 women. So 40% of the women population all struggle with reproductive period pains or UTIs, recurrent UTIs, because the pH level of the blood is changing. So Candida is very common. So you find women are now taking pills for Candida every month or by antibiotics. Then outside there's endometriosis, there's adenomyosis, there's polycystic ovarian syndrome, there's fibroids, there's cysts normally, just cysts occurring and becoming too big and then causing other problems in there. And then there's blocked tubes. And blocked tubes was something that I didn't really know about. I learned about it when I was experimenting with this product. I met so many young women in their early 20s who struggle with blocked tubes. A lot of it just because of scarring in the tubes because of recurrent infection and things like PID, pelvic inflammatory disease, which is almost like an infection that now goes even further up. And as it goes further up, because you're not healing, you're scarring. And the more you scar, and the more it kind of like sticks together. So everything there is stuck like this. The sperms cannot get through, right? It's blocked. So that's what they call the blocked tubes. That you cannot get pregnant because the sperm cannot get through. So I have 2 other products, and Tenduate was developed because my women friends said, if you're treating me, you must treat my husband.
Definitely.
How do you know the problem? Exactly. Infections, just prostate issues, low sperm count, poor libido, erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation.
So it treats all those diseases.
Yes, it does. Then of course,
before we continue,
yes,
you deal with herbal, natural products,
Yeah.
which treats reproductive and digestive for both men and women.
Yes.
So already you've taken us through
Yes.
Harriet,
Yeah.
which myself I have used. I am a testimony. I had blocked fallopian tubes. Guys, you can remember in my previous video, and this worked for me. And already she has told us that she had painful period pains and it worked for her already. So the next product is the Tenduate. She has explained it also. And we are in the 3rd product, which is
Sagawaita.
Yes, now you can take us through.
Yeah. So Sagawaita, for me, I was in Bomet actually when there was a problem with COVID. And I remember somebody saying, but we have this medicine that treats what is called pneumonia of the lungs. So according to the people there, the elderly, they were saying, we've always had this COVID problem, and this is how we treated it. So we went down to the farm and collected 4 trees actually, and Sagawaita was one of them. And I came and I boiled it, and I was drinking the whole time. So then someone on my page, people kept on saying, you don't have anything for COVID, you don't have anything for COVID. I said, I can't claim that I can treat COVID, but I can give you what I use to help me manage any flu-related symptoms at this particularly bad time. So that's how I developed this 3rd product. Yes.
Wow. So now from here, my next question is, I want you to tell us, to highlight briefly all the diseases that this
Harriet, yeah.
Yes, because I know of blocked tubes, I know of infertility issues, I know of painful period pains. Yes, right?
Yes.
So take us through. Kindly state for us what it treats.
Okay, so
briefly.
The way Harriet works, Harriet is an 8-in-1 decoction. And so literally when we said decoction, it's like a mixture that is boiled to bring out the liquid.
Yes.
That's a decoction. It has 8 trees, shrubs, roots, herbs. So for now we just call it herbs, or we can call it trees. One of those is just to balance your hormones. Another is a painkiller. Another is to treat infections, right? Another is a decongestant, which means that if it finds anything there that shouldn't be there, that is solid, it makes it soft and it flushes it out. Another is arrowroot itself is for the digestive system, because literally for many women, like your digestion is not optimum.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of gas, you have bloating, maybe you're not having a regular bowel movement, and when your intestines are packed, it pushes itself onto the reproductive system. And during your periods, when your body is trying to remove old blood, or like what it doesn't need, all this squeezing is what causes you pain. So the digestive system must be clean, the reproductive system must be clean, so for you to have a painless period. Then there's one that treats inflammation, right, which some women complain about painful sex. Like they say, I've never enjoyed sex all my life, is because the vaginal canal is inflamed. So once you treat the inflammation and also you treat any infections, and the body works in such a way that there's another one that helps stimulate egg production, and there's one for libido. So obviously, if your libido is high and you're producing eggs and your tubes are clean, very likely if you meet the opposite sex, you're going to get pregnant, especially in that window when you're ovulating. So this is how it works. Then when you bring out things like adenomyosis, you're talking about hormonal imbalance. So what's happening is with endometriosis, you produce too much estrogen, and the same with fibroids. And because of that, the endometrium grows too much. It crowds the uterus and also grows outside and starts to cause you many problems. So if it grows in the gut, it will block your gut. And that's why when you go to the loo, you bleed. You actually have stuff coming out and some blood. If it goes into your lungs, you can't breathe properly. And that's why you hear people with endo that has gone in the lungs, they have to have an operation to take it out. If it goes into your... Yes, it's like jumping. Exactly. For her, it goes in, that has gone into her lungs. And because it continues to grow, even when you remove it, as long as the estrogen is too high, it will continue to just grow and grow. That's why you hear women with endo have had 5 surgeries. And you're like, why? Because it keeps growing. Right? So now fibroids act the same way. There'll be a time, especially in your life, at a certain age, your estrogen will go up before it drops at premenopause and menopause. As it does that, the fibroids grow, right? And in addition to feeding onto other things, whether it's feeding on dairy or whatever, so that some people say this particular thing a lot of our dairy has lots of hormones. So it's all coming together. Your fibroids are growing. As they grow, they make you uncomfortable. They press on your bladder, so you keep having to go to the loo. They make you bloated. Your stomach looks big. Some people look 6 months pregnant. Then maybe they're large. You can't get pregnant because as the baby is trying to attach, the fibroids are crowding it out and taking all the food, and you have a blighted ovum. Right?
That explains why.
Exactly. Or you'll have a miscarriage, because now what's happening is that home that the baby is trying to create is being crowded by other intruders. So fibroids themselves are not dangerous, they're benign, but then they cause lots of problems. Same with endo. Endo does exactly the same thing. It squashes the baby. Now adenomyosis is another version where again things are growing in the wrong place, but not quite you can still get pregnant with adeno. So the whole idea of hormonal imbalance with arrowroot is to measure those. Then you have the opposite, people who are producing too much progesterone until you have devils, hair is going. Yeah, women.
Yeah.
So you see women who now, they don't produce enough eggs, or the eggs don't fertilize, there's polycystic ovarian syndrome, or something goes wrong, and for them mainly it's progesterone. Too little estrogen, too much progesterone. Then you hear about women who their periods come after 60 days. Then you hear about their periods come, they have 2 or 3 periods in a month.
And another one was telling me just last week that her periods are so painful and she's in the 9th day.
Yes. Too much bleeding.
So that's not normal.
It's not normal. A normal period should be 3 to 4 days, painless, bright, fresh blood. Because if you're bleeding old, dark clots, some people bleed black blood, which has been there for so long. Especially, you can start taking our product, and next thing you see black things coming out, black, and you're like, I'm dying, what is going on? But this is old blood coming out. So you're supposed to have 3 to 4 days painless period, fresh bright blood, and you're not supposed to stop what you're doing. Your period should come and you don't know.
So you insist painless periods.
Painless. For me, my promise is
are not normal.
they are not normal. They are not normal. Right? Overbleeding is not normal. There's a woman who I was treating and she had overbleeding. She used to use adult diapers.
What?
It's not normal. You're in the office and you keep changing your adult diaper and you're bleeding until you think the chair is going to be red. You know, you're so uncomfortable. You're losing blood, so you're not feeling good as well. You know, like your blood is down.
Yes.
You feel weak. You feel dizzy. Right? You're not performing at your optimum. You have low energy. So all these things go together. So women are not supposed to be sleeping. Oh, you're in a period and the whole world knows you're sleeping.
Yes.
You know, your brothers know,
It
your
should
dad
be something
know.
normal.
Of course not. They're not
Yes.
supposed to know. You're supposed to be going to the gym, doing all the things you do normally. So for me, when I first created the product, that was all, when it was given to me, I had a painless period for the first time in 20-something years. So I just wanted other women to experience that. I didn't even know about the rest.
What?
The rest came after.
Yeah.
So for me, once I had a painless period, I'm like, oh, all the problems in the world are solved.
I know.
Yeah, because even the mood swings, remember, before your
Yes.
period, if you have a hormonal imbalance, your mood is terrible the week before. You fight with everybody, you're angry and irritable. Then during your period,
You don't
just
even
feel
understand
low.
why
Yeah.
and what is
I don't
happening.
understand why you become, you know, they say that women, there are 4 different women.
Yes.
You are 4 different women in the 4 weeks.
Uh-huh.
Because, you know, when you're ovulating, you're at your best, you're happy, you're bright, you have energy, you're creative. But when you're on your period, now you're down, you don't want to do anything, you just want to
Don't
relax.
like eating.
Then before your period, now you're angry, you're shouting at everybody.
I want to ask some questions, and the first one is for what determines for how long one is going to take that medicine. The other one is whether if these medicines have any side effects, and also I want you to tell us after how long is one supposed to stay to continue with another dose, to take another dose after the first one.
Okay.
Yes.
So your typical dose is 45 ml first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. It must hit the stomach with nothing else in it, so it can go straight into the bloodstream.
Yes.
So the whole idea is that you're not digesting something else and then taking out of it. You take it first thing in the morning. Then between bottles is a 7-day break, which is mandatory because there are many people who want to continue taking it and taking it.
Yes.
Why is it mandatory? Because your kidney is working and your liver is working. You must give those 2 organs a break, right? There are people who've asked if they can take a larger dose. We prescribe a larger dose for women who, let's say, they have large fibroids and they're on their way to surgery. So for instance, we work with one gynecologist who uses arorate, double dose or triple dose, which is twice a day or 3 times a day, as he's shrinking them and making them softer so that you don't have open cut surgery, you have laparoscopic surgery, which is where they insert a tube and they cut the thing that is feeding the fibroid, then it drops off itself, as opposed to having to open you up kabisa and scrape them off. So this is one way that arorate is used. For women who have fibroids, especially older women, they'll take at least 6 bottles, right? Then there are women who are just like, they've been on depot, the 3-month or the 3-year, they can't get pregnant. They take 1 bottle, they get pregnant. There are women who've been on the P2, very young women, 1 bottle, they get 2 weeks, they're pregnant. So it really is dependent on what you're struggling with and what caused it. Age, also the environment makes a difference. Like there are some who go very strict, they go on keto, they change so many things in their life. 1 bottle, packed, right?
Like for me.
Yeah, I used to like for you 1 bottle.
Yes.
So I'm saying there's so many variations. There are those endo, you have to take this thing for a long time, in my opinion, because just to manage your pain. Because when I'm talking to people who have endo, all I want to do is eliminate excessive bleeding, eliminate pain, and beat back growths.
So when it comes to period pains, you can't really tell how many bottles one will take.
Some will just take 1. Like, you know, you have
And
women...
they'll never have period pains.
Never again. Because all that was happening there, you have very young women.
Yes.
Like you can have a 16-year-old who suddenly she went to high school and suddenly for the first time she got terrible period pain. Normally we attribute that to like the hormonal growth. There's a hormonal imbalance because she hasn't reached that optimum where the different hormones are producing the correct amount. So this 1 bottle is just to rectify that. Or if she's been eating food she wasn't eating before, let's say when she used to not eat a lot of bread, but now she's in high school, she's eating a lot of bread. Gluten contributes again to blocking the system. So ours is just to unblock the system, just like a plumber. So for those kind of very young women, even 18, we just recommend 1 bottle. with supervision. Then there are those who will take it 1-2 bottles, then there's no pain, they even stop.
Wow.
Right? Then there are those who have to take that, because I say to my clients, take it until you get to a painless period.
Yes.
Then after that, I'm not so concerned, like, why did you stop dawa? Then there are those who say to me, I took it, I wanted to get pregnant, I'm not pregnant, after 1 bottle, your thing doesn't work.
You give up.
You give up. So that's why we say a minimum of 3 bottles is so that people don't think this is a one-stop shop.
Yes.
I take this thing, it's instant, I move on, type of thing. I'm just saying take it at least for 3 months. If you're pregnant after 1 month, you don't have to take it.
So, Harriet,
Yes.
what would you advise women out there who are so stressed about their reproductive issues and their digestive issues? Not only women, even men out there and everybody out there. What would you tell them?
Okay, for me, what I feel like telling women really and men is to relax. The first thing is you must relax.
Yes.
Because I think the whole conversation around fertility and children and once you're a wife or a husband, you feel like you should also be a parent. And when it's not happening as quickly as other people are expecting or the way you thought it's going to happen, it can be very stressful.
Yes.
Stress alone will prevent pregnancy, or it can you can end up with a miscarriage if your pressure goes up, because there is a condition where miscarriage is associated with high blood pressure.
Yes.
So for me, I'm always saying to women, you must relax. It's not the end of the world yet. And remember that children come from God.
Yes.
Because there are those who people thought they could never be pregnant, and they are. There are those who are told by their doctors it's never going to happen.
Yes.
Then there are those who are told it will happen, and it doesn't happen. So there's no one-stop solution for this thing. It's really about your destiny and your faith. And if you come across a product, let's say like REPRODUCTIVE, which helps you, there are also other products in the market. So it's not that you must only come for this. Try everything. That's another thing I say. Change your diet, change your environment, change your mindset. Drink more water. Maybe do the right kind of exercises. Yeah. Start taking REPRODUCTIVE, start taking supplements, take moringa.
Yes.
Do everything, but with a light heart and with a light touch. Knowing that for sure, you will be blessed. But how your blessing comes, we don't know that. We are not the ones who decide.
Yes.
Because even with me, even though I do make this product, I'm more like a conduit for a higher power, because I don't make babies. I just make it possible for women to access a product that's been used for thousands of years.
Wow.
But whether you get pregnant or not, and whether you carry to term, is actually out of my hands.
True.
Yes.
Wow, that's nice. I really appreciate you making this medicine, because for me it has worked 100%.
Okay.
I have no doubt about it. So for me, I took a step of faith. I went to the shop, and at first they told me that I'll take at least 3 bottles of Harriet, and maybe from there I can start having high expectations. Surprisingly, I only took my first dose, and I had bought my second dose, which I did not take at all.
Okay.
It had already worked for me.
Wonderful.
Yes. So I would also advise, with confidence, I have used the product. If you have any of those problems, please contact Harriet's Botanical, and I will give her a chance to tell us where we can find her products.
Okay.
Yes.
So our products are all over Kenya now. In Nairobi, we have CBD, Sawa Mall, A24. Sawa Mall is actually next to Sasa Mall.
Yes.
And it's on Moy Avenue, opposite the old Ibrahim supermarket. That's our flagship shop. Then we have Adams, Soko Safi Mall, which is next to Green Man. It's called Greenhouse. Next to Greenhouse,
Yes.
on Ngong Road. Sarit Center, we're there every Tuesday, but then we will actually be there every day, Monday to Saturday. We're just working on that. We're in Kericho, actually. We're in Kisumu, K-City. We're in Eldoret, Olo Street. We're in Nakuru, as well in the CBD, Kenyatta Avenue. So that's it, Kisumu, Nakuru. We're in Mombasa, as well on Biashara Street. We've just opened there. So you can find all this information on our page, because we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. We'll also be on TikTok pretty soon. We have a website, www.harrietsbotanicals.co.ke.
Yes.
So you can, if you Google, you will find us. If you Google REPRODUCTIVE, or Google Botanicals, or Google Indigenous Medicine, or Google period pains, you will find us. At the same time, we have a factory at Karingata, and that's on Marula Lane, and that's in Karen. as if you're driving away from Karen Country Club and driving towards Hemingway's.
Yes.
And you can come and ask us any questions. You can see how the dawa is made. Anytime. Monday to Friday, usually we're here doing production. You can meet the production team.
Yes.
You can meet me. So like this is just our way. What we wanted to do for Kenyans is to show that we actually are legitimate. You can come and see us doing it. This is not something that we are hiding.
Yes.
And we want you to know that you can trust us and you can trust our process and you can criticize our process.
Wow.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Harriet. I know you're providing so many solutions to so many problems out here, especially reproductive solutions. May God bless you for doing that.
Thank you.
May you continue touching the lives of many, because mine was really touched.
Okay, thank you so much.
God bless you so much.
God bless you too.
Yes, and may He continue increasing and increasing in you.
Asante.
Yes.